What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the ProtoART. So for today, I'm going to show you a program called Ebsynth. It's a free program online, and it basically is a learning program where you can apply a effect from a particular frame over a whole sequence of a video. So I have an example of me just talking here. I took a keyframe from that video, and in Photoshop, I made it look like a painting, kind of. And with Ebsynth, it applied that effect over the entire sequence of the video. So it's only an 11-second clip, but believe me, it took a long time for it to render. So what you're going to do is go first into After Effects for this example. What you need to do is break your video up into keyframes. So with my video loaded into After Effects, I'm going to drag it down, make a new compound clip. I'm going to change the output module from lossless, or whatever the default is on your settings, into JPEG sequence. I'm going to hit OK. Now I want to change where it's being sent to. So I just made a folder called ScreenFlow. So that's where I'm going to send it to. Gonna say save. So now you're going to usually hit render, and it's going to take a while for it to do its thing depending on how long your video is. Mine's only 11 seconds, so it's not going to take too long. But I already did that. So now my frames are in ScreenFlow. You can see it's over like 300 something frames. And it's just every frame in the video is exported there. So we're gonna go back into Ebsynth now. And in Ebsynth, all we're gonna do is tell it where to find this information. So under your video tab, this is where all the frames are exported from After Effects. So whatever you called that folder, you're gonna direct it to it. So mine's just called ScreenFlow. I want to choose the first frame in there and say open. So it's gonna already fill in the directory and the video keyframe. So the keyframes here, this is basically where you took that frame, and for my example, I use Photoshop to change it around. You're gonna tell it where this is located. So hit select. My folder is called keyframes. I'm just gonna choose the first one and hit open. Now on the bottom here, since I use 3 keyframes, I'm just gonna make 3 of these right now, just so I know where they're supposed to go. So, my keyframes folder. My keyframes, I just kind of keep them labeled the same way, just so I keep track of everything. Were frame 32, 179, and 308. So that's what I'm gonna put in here. Frame 32. Frame 179 and frame 308. So I know that it gets a little confusing here, so I made a freeze frame with this annotation. On the top left corner in blue is going to be your beginning frame of your entire video. On the bottom right that I have circled in yellow would be where you put your last frame of your video. Since I do use 3 different keyframes, there's a little math involved. Hopefully you can tell by the example I have on the screen here how I'm deducting the keyframes to get the beginning and end, or the starting and end points of the following keyframes. Use this kind of like a template when you do edit your own video. Hopefully that was kind of clear. Hopefully you guys don't get too lost if you just kind of look at this as an example. On the output, they're all going to go to the same folder. So I made a folder called output, or out. And choose the same folder for these 3. And I would hit run all. I already did this. It's going to take a while to do. So I'll show you in a second the final outcome. And now that it's exported out of Ebsynth, it has all of our frames now with the effect applied to it. Over 300 different frames from just those 3. We can go back into After Effects. I'm going to go to File, Import, File. I'm just going to choose the very first frame out of that sequence. Hit Open. Drag this down to create a new composition. And now we can see the final product. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the ProtoART. So this is just a very quick demo of using Ebsynth. Let's see how it goes. So what do I think after all this? I think the program's dope, but be prepared to wait around for literal hours. This is an 11-second video. Mind you, it's like 24 frames per second, but it takes a long time for it to render. So you might as well like watch a movie, get something to eat, and you know, because you're gonna be waiting around for a while. But hopefully this kind of helped you understand how to use this software. It's still a little iffy to me. Like, I'm sure there's smoother ways to get through this thing, but that one section with the whole keyframes is a little complicated. Mind you, I used more than one, so it made me have to take a little bit more time to get the steps right for that. But if you're just using one frame as an example, it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss out on another video, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Be safe.